everybody, and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 video. And as you can probably tell by today's title, we're back in Creator Sim. I'm going to be doing kind of a different challenge. I'm going to be trying to make a stereotypical British person in The Sims 4. Now, obvious disclaimer, these are just stereotypes that I have gotten online, so not every British person is obviously going to look like this. But I just thought it is a fun idea to do to see what stereotypes people have, I guess, and if we can try and replicate it in the game. I don't want to go on for too long, so the first thing that came up was an oblong face shape, which I had to Google because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not very good with my face shapes. That is a bit more of like a, I don't know, like this sort of expression. Apparently Rihanna's got a oblong face shape. Okay, interesting. Let me have a little go at manipulating this. Let's do that. I feel like that's actually not too far off. I think one of the other comments as well said high cheekbones, so let's do that. And I think they said define cheekbones too, so let's do that. Is that me ruining the eye shape? Is that oblong? Is that too defined now? 'Tis the question. It's quite hard to work it out. I'm just fiddling around a little bit. I want it to be as good as it can be. Okay, I think that's okay. One of the other comments said, when talking about the eyes, somebody said that we had big eyes. I don't know, I don't think we can get much bigger than these eyes, if I'm being brutally honest. They are quite big, which is kind of why I chose them. The other thing that did pop up as well is that British people commonly, well, apparently the most common eye colour is blue. So I do want to go with a nice blue eye shade. Probably it would be more the light blue. I don't actually have that many blue eye swatches, I don't think. Maybe that one probably is the best. I'm just gonna really quick get rid of the EA eyelashes because, well, that's just not a stereotype. That's just not a stereotype, is it? Let's go. Okay, love that. So we have, like this person said, apparently we have big eyes, apparently. Don't know if that's too big, but like maybe something like that would be fine. Now, the other comments did also say about us having small noses. Apparently British people have small noses, so I need to try and find like a button nose throughout all of these swatches. I don't know if I'm gonna find one. Maybe we'll go with that and I'll just go into edit mode. We'll size it down a little bit. But yeah, apparently we have small noses. I don't know, actually. I think I do have quite a small nose, so maybe that is an accurate stereotype. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, I'm not funny. Right, is that fine? I want to just do that. I'm just, I want to make sure she can breathe. Okay, I think that's fine. And then let's go with the mouth. So most of the comments from when I was scrolling, most of what people were saying was that we have thin lips. So immediately I'm thinking like that. But I don't think we do have thin lips like that, if I'm being honest. So like maybe more like that or that. Maybe let's go with that. So then it's, let me mold it a bit, I suppose. Because I'm all for thin lips, but let's be respectful about it. But yeah, apparently we have thin lips. I mean, to be fair, she is giving slightly British, so that's great. Oh, the other thing was about straight noses. Is this fairly straight? I think so. Let's just quickly do that. Give it a little bit more depth, I suppose. I'm just gonna pull out the jaw a little bit. There we go. Is there a way I can... Oh, I can't. I can make them bigger, but I can't. I was gonna try and stretch them out a bit, but can't do that. That's fine. Okay, now, obviously, one of the big stereotype of a British person is that we all have crooked teeth, apparently. That is the British stereotype. But I would argue that most people's teeth are pretty well cared for. They're pretty standard, if I'm being brutally honest. And I think a lot of it came from, well, I think a lot of it is just a preconceived conception. I guess the only person that I really know at the minute that was talking about teeth was the one that was in sex education. I think she's in White Lotus. I want to say her name is Amy something, but I can't remember. And I'm trying to think what sort of teeth that she has. Does she have like a gap in it, or does she have more like that sort of look. I'm just gonna go with a gap in the teeth, you know? But I'm gonna be honest, most people that I come across, their teeth are pretty well taken care of. I don't really know where that perception came from. Anyway, nobody said anything about freckles or like any beauty marks, anything like that. So I probably will leave that for now. I guess the only other thing for me to talk about is skin tone because, yeah, I mean, we have a reputation for having a very pale skin tone, and most of it is just because we do not get much sun. So a lot of us have a fair or pale complexion, and we have the sort of skin that, like, if the sun does come out, we just burn. We don't tan. A lot of us, we just burn, which is why I think a lot of British people do use fake tan, if I'm being honest. But yeah, anyway, I don't personally, but other people do. Anyway, let's read some of the skin details. What do we think? Let's go with that one. I like that one because it's a little more natural. It didn't say anything about eyelashes, whether we have big or thick ones. I feel like depends on what you see, because there used to be the sort of girls that used to like wear heavy makeup, fake tan, big eyelashes, that sort of thing. But then being honest, when I googled a lot of British perceptions or British stereotypes, a lot of people was on about like the more Harry Potter sort of look. Everybody imagines we live in the countryside and go to Hogwarts sort of thing. So I'm actually going to go a little bit more dainty, I think, in this video. Okay, lovely. And then there wasn't anything about eyebrows either, but interestingly said that most people are brunette in the UK. So I'm going to go with that sort of, I think that's classed as brunette. So let's go with that. I don't really have many eyebrows actually in the game, so we might have to see. I mean, back in the day, this sort of like faded look used to be absolutely everywhere when I was growing up. Like, people would have those hideously drawn on eyebrows. Not gonna lie, guys, as you can probably tell, that was not me. I definitely was not in that trend, that era at all. To be honest, I've never understood any sort of trend to do with eyebrows. It's the one thing I don't really touch, if I'm being brutally honest. Okay, we might struggle here with finding eyebrows that look good. I just want to go with basic ones. I might go with them. We'll see how it looks with the hair, I guess, when we do the hair. We'll see. Okay, so getting on to hair. I mean, for girls, there wasn't really a lot of specific things, I guess. I don't really know with hair. I feel like, I don't know. Hair is so individualistic. I guess there isn't really a stereotype you can do. I mean, lots of the outfits that people wear when they apparently think of British people have headbands in, and I think there is a hair within one of the packs. I want to say it's High School Years, which means I've definitely scrolled past it. That does have a headband. So I mean, this one is a headband too, but not the sort I was thinking. This is giving more like, I was thinking more this, I think. That sort of look. Do I like that colour headband? I'm just trying to think, do I go with that sort of brown just so I can have a black headband? Maybe I do. Maybe I will. Is that the matching brown? Because why does that look hideous compared to... Okay, I'm just going to go with that. Yeah, they match it. It's that colour and that is hideous. Okay, we'll just go with that. What am I meant to be going for now? Makeup. Now, makeup is the one that I'm not actually sure about. Like I said, there's two different ones. There's like the fake tan, really heavy, like full glam, like that sort of thing, that definitely went viral back in like 2016 era. I mean, it was truly something. But then being honest, nowadays I feel like people have gone a lot more casual with their makeup, so I might just go something really simple, go really like natural, I guess, and see what that looks like. So yeah, let's see. Lipstick or lips. See, that's quite nice, quite neutral. Yeah, we could go with that. I don't think that looks bad. It wasn't anything about earrings or anything like that, so I'm just gonna go really basic and just put some little hoops on. I think one of the comments did say about glasses. I'm sure some of the comments did say that actually a lot of British people wear glasses, which I'm not really sure where that stereotype type has come from. Truth be told, maybe, I mean, I could put on glasses. I'd have to change the eye. The eyes, I don't know if it's a super common British one, so I might just leave it for now. Although I suppose these like Harry Potter-esque, I mean, obviously it's not looking good right now, guys, but the Harry Potter-esque ones, maybe because of Harry Potter, but I think I'll leave it for now because honestly, I don't think glasses are that. I don't think they're that common. Maybe that's me wearing my rose-tinted glasses. Who knows? Now let's get on to the exciting bit because let's talk about outfits. I definitely think, like I said, there's definitely two types of people, right? I think it definitely depends on your age demographic. And I definitely think it depends on what sort of era you grew up in because in 2016 and that sort of era when I was in high school, it was very much like crop tops, shorts, trainers, like really that sort of thing. But nowadays, people are dressing a lot more conservative. And I feel like a lot of the clothes that I was seeing were very like, I don't know what the word is here, guys, but just very, I would almost describe them as kind of my style. Very academic, very preppy, very like that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, the outfit that I've got to try and replicate is basically like a jumper, a skirt, and some boots. It's actually funny because I've been watching a couple of influencers travel over to London and they were almost wearing that sort of thing. So that kind of does indicate to me that that is a stereotype that has been developed. I'm trying to scroll through and see what I've got. I might have to use custom content for this one, but that's okay. Something like this could definitely work in a nice blue colour. It's not my favourite, but it could work. Something like this I feel like is pretty common as well. I mean, to be fair, anything from Cottage Living is probably a safe bet as well. Wondering whether that one from Love Struck would work, but alas, I do not think so. You see, something like that could, but it does clip a bit. I mean, I did also think about doing this. It's not my fave. I mean, we could go with that, I suppose. I mean, all of these jumpers are a little bit cropped. I was hoping there'd be a longer one. Okay, I might go with that one. And then the skirt that I can see is probably, to be honest, it's exactly like that. I mean, this one was in blue, so I feel like I should go with the black. So I probably should go with the black vibes. Although I do quite like the blue. I feel like it is giving school uniform a little bit, which works, I guess, because the UK is kind of renowned for having, school uniforms, so I guess it does work. The boots, I feel like these could work. I think they definitely could. Something like that, I don't think would. What about these ones? See, actually, these ones could very much work. I might go with them ones, actually. I wasn't expecting to like them ones either, so that's interesting. Obviously, these are like your Doc Marten sort of ones. See, these are like kind of Chelsea boots, I guess, so they could also work. And then, I think these were the ones I was going to do. But then being honest, I like the ones that we had on at the bottom, so let's put those back on. They're probably a little high. I think a lot of people that are wearing those sorts of boots are wearing a little bit smaller, but that's fine. I was just trying to see if any socks go with these, because sometimes people do wear socks with them when I've seen them online. I might just leave it, because I think the only ones that were like above were these, and I don't know if I like them that much. That is the everyday outfit from what I can tell. Let me see if I can find something a little more formal, I guess. So super interestingly, when I put in, British girl outfits, formal wear, interestingly, it's a lot of like either off the shoulder sort of jumper and like trousers and that sort of vibe, or it's blazers, which actually surprises me a bit. I clearly don't have the mesh for that. Let me see. I mean, that defo doesn't work. That maybe could. I don't actually know what sort of blazer and suit options I have, because I don't tend to go that route, if I'm being honest. Let's see what sort of vibes we have. I mean, something like this actually could work. Obviously not in that colour. I'd go different colour though. The shoulder, if we go for like a black one and then do some white trousers. We could do that. I mean, I could do like a nice velvet suit, but I don't actually think that is the vibe that a lot of these had. I mean, this is probably like the sort of closest that I can see, or maybe that actually. I mean, the tweed is quite a British staple, I suppose. I think I'm just gonna go with the off the shoulder and just try and find some nice smart white trousers. See, they're beige, so they're one step closer. Something like this could definitely work, but they could just do with being that a little bit more. I didn't want them to be cropped, if I'm being honest. I mean, I don't know why I'm looking at EA's stuff, because they never normally do that high-waisted. I mean, I like these trousers, and I think they are very similar to what I've seen, so we could just try and find a different top, because I'm sure there's a couple of off the shoulder, like this one, that works. I do feel like I'm just going to put those up a little bit. Is there any more, or is that it for the off the shoulder? I think that's it, but I do think that looks quite nice. Very sophisticated. They actually don't have a necklace on, but I'm gonna add one on. And I feel like pearls is quite British because of late queen, I guess. Let's do that. And then I'm trying to decide, maybe I'll add a watch as well. I feel like watches are quite weirdly traditional, so let's go with that. Oh, and shoes. I forgot shoes. I'm gonna do some little kitten heels, I think. I feel like that's the sort of thing that would go with this outfit if I could find any. Here we go. Just some of them. Very sophisticated. Very cute. I like it a lot. Let's go with athletic wear. Weirdly, a lot of tennis. A lot of tennis players. Like, I don't know why, but Emma Raducanu is coming up. So maybe go tennis outfit, I guess. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't know many people that play tennis. If anything, I would have expected more like football, but no, instead it's tennis. Interesting. The other thing that like did pop up was like sweaters and leggings, that sort of thing. I mean, I don't want to stress too much about athletics, right? It doesn't really matter. Let's just go with that and some shorts. I don't feel like I have that many good shorts though in this game. Might just go with them, and then just some trainers. I don't really know what trainers to go for actually. I don't know what the most common trainer brand is in the UK. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Adidas, if I'm being honest. We'll just go with the white trainers, and then maybe let's add a little Apple Watch on. I feel like a lot of us nowadays have an Apple Watch. A sleepwear. Let's see what is popping up. Okay, very cozy pajamas are popping up. That seems to be the most common. Let's see. I don't actually know yet again what sort of pajamas I have in this game. Something like that could work. Like if I go for that and then some nice trousers, we could do that, because I feel like that is probably the best out of what I've got currently, I think. Yeah, and then some, like I said, some really cozy trousers is what we need. See, most people nowadays have those blue Hollister, like striped ones, but I don't think I have anything similar. So I might just go black and keep it really boring. And these people are wearing slippers. They're more like Ugg sort of slippers, but I don't have that sort of thing in my games. Why do I feel like the closest would be cow slippers? Don't know. We'll go with it. Let's now go party wear. Well, I don't know why she keeps having glasses and nose piercings. Yet again, very formal, very like academic. And in fact, I think this sort of dress would actually be the best sort of dress that would go. I was just trying to see what swatches we had, because I also want to point out a lot of the dresses are like black or navy or browns. They're not very like out there with the colour palette, which does make me think, are we not known for being very out there? The other thing that was there was like these very dainty like bow sort of party wear dresses, but I don't think I have anything similar to it in my game, so I can't even like show you what I'm on about right now. Just want to point out that from some of the outfits that I'm seeing, it's definitely giving like American influence that comes to London versus it being like things I see my friends wearing. Yet again, I feel like a kitten heel with this one would probably go perfectly fine. We'll just add some very classy jewelry on, I suppose. Let's quickly do that. Maybe return of the watch, I suppose. I mean, to be fair, if I'm being honest, a lot of this would wear tights for our outfits because lots of the time it is really bloody cold in the UK, particularly in the winter. Anyway, okay, I also probably should add a necklace on as well. And I'm kind of wondering whether we go pearls because I feel like pearls, like I said, very traditional. I feel like it works for the outfit. Okay, let's go swimwear. I don't really know what the British stereotype here is because we're not really a swimming country, if that makes sense. Not many people have pools or anything like that. It's normally only when you go abroad, so I might just go basic and just go with a similar theme to what we've been seeing. Just a nice little polka dot. Okay, hot weather outfit. I feel like I should skip this one because we don't get hot weather. I don't know what the stereotype is here. It's normally just all of us complaining about the heat when we actually do get it for like one day a year. Let's just go with, when I was seeing a lot of the outfits actually, a lot of the tops, it was either just basic t-shirt and shorts and some trainers, or it was like a t-shirt with a shirt over the top, which I definitely have a lot of. Kind of like this, but a longer sleeve shirt. So I'm trying to see if I have something similar, because I feel like I do, but I might have gone past. Oh, something like this was very popular coming up. We could go with that. I mean, I would have liked it to have been a bit longer, but it's you know what, it's fine. Let's go with some shorts as well. I might just go with basic blue shorts. I feel like that's kind of stereotypical. And in terms of trainers, I feel like Converse are quite popular. I see Converse quite a lot. So I could go with the new ones that came, or I could go with these, which are like custom content Converse that I have. Or I go with these ones, which came with the new update. I might go with the ones that came with the new update, actually. We don't have any good socks. This is the only thing in hot weather. So we don't have any good socks, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, I think that's pretty okay. I feel like that is a good outfit, in my opinion. Okay, let's go with cold weather outfit. Probably the one that we are more familiar with in styling. I actually might just go with the cottage living jumper because I feel like this is very on brand and kind of similar to what we've been looking at. I mean, I feel like people would probably think of this sort of jumper when thinking of British people, so we could go with it. Probably go with jeans. I feel like jeans are pretty popular. Get rid of the boots for just 2 seconds so I can see what I'm doing. I mean, I feel like jeans are a staple. I feel like boots are probably popular, but if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to go with the UGG boots. I feel like they definitely are quite popular in this day and age. I'm not actually going to bother with anything like that, I don't think. Cool. Let's go into her name, shall we? And I just did a bit of Googling. The most popular name in the UK currently for a baby girl is Olivia, which doesn't surprise me. I think Olivia's been top of the list for the last like 10 years, to be honest. To give you a bit of an idea, the top 5 is Olivia, Amelia, Isla, Lily, and Freya. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know many. I know a few Olivias. The rest of them I don't. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's just more that they are more common now than when I was growing up. Anyway, I would say for a common last name, it's normally Smith, right? If you're thinking about anything, it's normally Smith. Now, in terms of like aspiration, I don't really know what most of us British people aspire to do. I could just go with something completely random. I mean, maybe farming, maybe, I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of farmland, I guess, depends where you are in the country. And in terms of trade, I'm gonna go with proper because I feel like we have a bit of a reputation for being a bit polite and maybe a bit stiff, I guess. That's why I'm trying to gloomy for sure, because I think a lot of us have a reputation for being a bit gloomy. What else should we go with? I'm just trying to see. Do any of these bit active? What else? Outgoing, party. Why is the one? Maybe do we go socially awkward? I mean, I want to say, guys, I feel the need to say this. It really depends in the UK where you go. Okay, or where in Britain you go. Because if you're around my area, people are generally quite talkative. Customer service is normally pretty good. That sort of thing. If you're going to London, it's probably not going to be as nice of an experience. Basically what I'm saying is don't judge everything off London. Anyway, we'll go with socially awkward because I feel like that's perhaps what people believe us to be. But yeah, honestly, I think she turned out really cute. I think she looks very nice. Let me know if you guys like the look of her. Anyways, thank you guys ever so much for watching today's video. If you have enjoyed, like I said, then please leave a like, go and subscribe if you haven't already. Go leave a comment. What do you think about her? What do you think she looks like? And yeah, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.